Hello everyone, I'm the Pape and welcome to my Should I on Team Indie. Team Indie is a game by Brightside Games, which I honestly have never heard of and neither have you. Unless you played Side 2, which seems to be a side-scrolling action shoot 'em up? I haven't actually played it, I just saw a couple of videos of it. But I've never heard of the company. And their newest product is Team Indie, which is a puzzle platformer, and its main idea, its main gimmick actually, is that you can use different characters from different indie games, which is why the game is called Team Indie. Now, is it any good? I'm gonna get to that. First, I'm gonna show you the options menu. And there's not much to it. You have a resolutions option, full screen, yes or no. There's no borderless window. And there are two different volume sliders, and that is basically it. Now, of course, it makes sense that there isn't too much to the game visually because it's a 2D side-scroller. So, of course, they can't include too many visual and graphic options. You have an overworld where you can select your different levels as soon as you finish them. Some of them have a second part to them, which you don't have to finish. In general, you only have to finish one part. And yeah, that's the basic idea of the game. You go around and do stuff. You finish the level and that is it. There's some weird stuff to the game. Like, I'm playing with the controller right now and it handles perfectly fine with the keyboard. I just prefer to play with the controller because it feels better. It's a platformer, so it's just easier to maneuver. But it's basically playable via keyboard or anything else. It's no problem. It's just my personal recommendation. Play it via controller. It's just a tad easier. But the weird stuff. For example, you have the Enter Medal room, which basically shows you your trophies, which aren't actually medals, but statues, trophies. And you can enter it pressing the X button or the B button as well, which was a bit weird to me because when I wanted to quit the game, the first time I pressed B and it just sent me into the medal room and I didn't know what was going on. So I pressed B and this happened. Here I am in the medal room. So if I press B again, I'm gonna leave the medal room, which isn't a medal room, it's a trophy room. Don't know who translated that. It's nothing horrible, it's just like basic stuff like this shouldn't happen. They show you the map and there is no real main menu. That's another thing that I found weird. So you start out right on the main map and you don't have a main menu. Also, the logo in the lower right corner, stuff like that. It makes it feel like this is an indie game from the Xbox 360 market. Also, the how to play button, like stuff like that. It looks like a very, very simple port, like an Android port. It just doesn't look professional. Oh, and by the way, if you're curious to leave the game, I had to press the back button twice on the controller. Don't know what's up with that. I'm just gonna show you some of the gameplay. And now this is one of the games, to be honest, that I'd love to love, but I just can't. Like, honestly, it's nice enough and it's not bad. It's just so. Let's start off here. So the main idea of the game is that you go from left to right, try to get to the finish line, to the end of the level. You're the cat called Howard, I think it was, or Maxwell, something very, I don't know, just regular, just a regular name, nothing special about it. And you're trapped in this video game world and you have to survive. And the way the game plays is that you switch up different characters by stepping into these badges. Jesus. And progress through the level. And every character has their own special ability. For example, I'm Nameless from Super Crate Box, and his ability is to shoot a minigun. which I personally think that it has no place in this game, but yeah, that's just me. It's not really like, it's not an actual puzzle. It's just, yeah, shooting stuff. Every character has something like a second ability. His second ability is using a katana, so a melee based weapon, and you can access these abilities via touching small yellow orbs, which you will see later on. Now what happened just then, I died and got sent back on my run. So all these, every time a character progresses or you start off as a character, it will count this as a run. So every time I die, I get back to this part, to the start of the character's run. This may sound more clever than it actually is. What it entails is actually that you have to, every time you die, oh Jesus, Tim is the weirdest to me. I still can't quite figure him out, honestly. This is Tim from Braid, in case you're wondering. So if you don't know who I meant by Tim, that's him. So every time you start a new, oh, I think I screwed up there. Every time you start a new run, you will have to survive until you change to a different character. Now this may sound very clever and very nice, and it is in theory, but the way they integrate it is just so annoying that I just really get mad at it. Because, for example, if I accidentally press the button, like I did earlier, I had to redo my whole run. And some of these runs can get very long, like, especially if you don't know what you're supposed to do. You can end up just walking around and just wasting time. And what happens is that if you want to progress with Maxwell or Howard, let's say the cat, let's stick to the cat because I can remember that. If you want to progress with the cat, like I'm doing right now, you have to wait for yourself to finish whatever it is you're supposed to do. So if it took you forever to figure out a puzzle, you're just gonna have to wait for yourself. Now luckily, there is a forward button, but it's not really fast. So yeah, this time here I switched to my own character again. They serve as checkpoints, so at least that's neat. That's very handy. But the game itself, I don't know. It just feels off. It just feels incredibly generic. The graphics are. I could have restarted that run. The graphics are nothing to write home about, and I mean, there's like 2-frame animations. The enemy the design is interesting. I can't tell you what the hell I'm looking at. Is it a bad dog with a pine cone on its head? Like, this is a fever dream. It looks like from a fever dream. And but the animation, that's what mostly takes me out of the game. The animation is so simple, and the feedback that you get is so weird. Like when I touch an enemy, like I did earlier, you don't get anything except for you dying. So that's all you're gonna see is you die. But how? Sometimes you don't even know how you died because the game doesn't show you any. It doesn't give you any feedback. And it can get really annoying when you don't know what happened. It took me ages to find out or to realize that Commander Video from 8-Bit Runner isn't supposed to hit the ceiling. You may wonder what I'm doing right now, and I don't know. I couldn't tell you if what I'm like this Commander Video, and I really don't know if I'm doing this wrong or right, like if what I'm playing right now is correct. I really don't know. And that's the most annoying part about the game, where you're not quite sure if what you're doing is correct or not, and having to redo very long runs because you misunderstood what you were supposed to do. The game gives you hints in form of those gems that you see where I can and we're gonna do that again. The game gives you hints in showing you those gems which show you the way where you're supposed to go, but sometimes there are no gems, or there are several directions where you can go, so you don't really know where to start off. And especially with changing between 4 or 5 characters, sometimes you just don't know what to do. And having to wait with your other characters for yourself to just do whatever you're supposed to do, it just gets annoying. It's just a time waster. And I don't really, in my opinion, that's not very well thought out or thought through, because it's just not fun to wait for myself. Like, I hate waiting for the bus. I'm very, and I screwed up, so I have to redo that run. I get frustrated waiting for simple stuff. So I don't want to wait in a video game. That's not fun. That's not clever or anything. And having to wait for myself to do stuff because I didn't. I was for a second I thought I had to redo that run again. And basically I have to say I really don't know who this game is meant for. From the design, from the looks of it, and from the way it handles the animation, everything, it looks like a casual game, and that would be fine by me if it's just if it's simple, if it's supposed to be easy, and you just get into it and just have some fun for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Yeah, no biggie. I dig that. Like, I really enjoy simple games if they're well made. But the game is really hard. Like, I don't know how I could have avoided that. Okay, I right now, okay, I think I figured out what I'm supposed to do. I think I have to go down here. No, wait. Okay, here's the kicker. The red gems can't be picked up by me. They have to be picked up by the cat. The blue gems are meant for the different characters. So what I have to do right now is, okay, I screwed that up. I have to choose to take the other path. Now, it may be that I'm talking right now, and that's why I didn't figure it out immediately, but it's not too obvious. It makes sense. Like, the idea behind that is very clever. So you have those two different paths that you have to take, and one is meant for, okay, I didn't know that I was gonna die. That's not the designer's fault, that's my fault. So the idea is that you have to go one path with one character and the other path with your main character. That's clever and all, but yeah, like I said, it's sometimes just annoying to wait for myself to do stuff, and the fast forward button is just so slow. There were times when I just stood there for a minute or 1.5 minutes just waiting for myself to figure out a puzzle, and I could just redo the run. But why should I? Like, it's not my fault that, well, maybe it's my fault that I didn't figure out immediately. Okay, I think I have to press that button, but I think, okay, maybe it's just for a secret. I don't care at the moment. Or maybe I should have cared. Nope, this isn't it. Okay, I can do this. I really don't know what to do right now. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not trying to be facetious. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be like clever or anything. I really don't know how they expect me to get by here, because if I destroy these blocks, I can't get down there. But if I destroy these blocks, I can't get up there. I think I'm stupid. I think I'm going crazy. Okay, I'm gonna try this, and I'm just gonna cheat a bit. No, this isn't working. Now I have to cheat the game because it just doesn't properly tell me what to do. And if I want to, that's what annoys me the most. If I want to redo what I did earlier, I have to redo all these runs. So I get back here and I will have to redo everything. And it makes sense, I guess. Ah, okay, I think I have to, yeah, just, no, oh, I hate it, you press the button once and it rewinds everything. I just get so annoyed playing this fucking game. Like I said earlier, I'd love to enjoy it, but I just can't. Because it just steals my time. Like it just robs me of my time because it's just, fuck this. And there's no feedback. Like it doesn't even feel good to just progress because everything is just that amateurishly animated and drawn. Like it looks nice, but there's nothing to it. There's nothing visually where I would say, okay, at least my deaths feel rewarding in that, okay, next time I'll do better, because I don't know what I did wrong. I honestly, okay, now this time I know what I did wrong. I shouldn't have jumped trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do. And this is only the second world. Like I finished the first world. And finishing that was, I'm gonna show you something where I just marveled at it. The music is incredibly generic, like you've heard it earlier. It's just cookie cutter, I don't know, stock music, which I wouldn't be surprised if you found it online somewhere. And I'm gonna show you the first world boss, and so the change was incredible. So you have this very generic, very boring, very nice music, and all of a sudden you get to listen to Rammstein. So just listen to this. Yeah, this is my nemesis Oscar. He's the one who brought me into the video game world and wants to kill me. I'm gonna turn up the music. I'm gonna turn up the music for this one. To me, it breaks the mood. Like all of a sudden, the game gets hardcore. Like I said earlier, I really don't know who this game is meant for. Because it feels casual, it looks casual, but it plays. So it's so difficult. I have to say, I like the art of Oscar, like the other cat. Okay, I fucked that up. I like the art of Oscar. He looks really cool, and I would have enjoyed it if most of the games looked a bit more visceral, a bit more interesting, a bit more intense. I don't know, whatever. Just make it fit in with the gameplay, because the game feels so much harder than it's supposed to look. And maybe that's just me, maybe that's a personal thing. Like art style can be very subjective. But yeah, it just doesn't feel adequate. The enemy design is just, it's just weird, but not in a clever way. It's just, okay, like, let's throw some stuff together and let's see if we can make it evil. Like, I don't really know what's floating there. There's so much stuff that I don't know why the video game world looks like this and whatever. Nothing to... Okay, that was mean. But that was my fault. And all the while I have to listen to this music that it's just way too intense for whatever is going on right now. It's just so much... I don't know, it's just weird, in all honesty. It's just weird. Whatever the game, the developer was thinking when designing this game, I really couldn't tell you. And there is one thing that I really want to talk about regarding this game, and that's the fact that why is it here? So, as you've seen, I can I still don't know who this pudding guy is, honestly. Oh, come on, that wasn't fair. I had nowhere else to go, so I really don't know why they made the game. Because if you think about it, there are games where your character has just some limited abilities, and he can change costumes, and then he gets some different abilities. Like, just look at the Batman. Oh fuck! Look at the Lego games with Batman, where Batman could change costumes and change up his abilities. Like, they could have done this, and they chose to use different indie game characters from different indie games. And to me, it feels like it feels a bit cheap. Oh, I screwed up again. Jesus Christ, this part is stupid. It feels a bit cheap, to be honest, because the whole merit of the game is, okay, we have those cool characters from other games, but our character is so boring. Like, the cat itself, it can't do anything. So all the cat can do is jump and die. And if I'm not jumping, I'm dying. Okay, this time I can Ilgiak. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna do this to myself. I would love to enjoy this game so much more. And I would love for this game, okay, I already did this level, sorry. I would love for this game to be more than it is, but it sadly isn't. It's just the whole process of the development of the game must have been like, okay, we got this idea, we got this really cool idea, how do we get people to buy it? Let's put in some different indie game characters, because our character is just too fucking boring. There's nothing to him, or it, or her, whatever. It's a cat. It's an animal. Fuck it. I don't care for its gender. So there's nothing to it. There's nothing to the whole character, or nothing interesting about the storyline. The whole merit of the game is, okay, we got this. Seriously, I did nothing wrong there. Like, that was absolutely not my fault. I've seen stuff like that lots of times in this game, where there were glitches and stuff glitching out. So I have to get up here, and I really don't know how. And I have to get down there to press the button. Yeah, like what I want to say, the whole merit of the game is you have those different characters with different abilities, and we're gonna implement them in this game because there's so much more so much more interesting, so much more behind them than our own character. And instead of just, okay, let's do this on our own, let's sell a game and let's make it interesting and whatever, they chose to just fucking just basically steal different game Oh, okay, it didn't register me pressing that button, that was why it didn't open the door, so I didn't really I screwed up. Okay, that's my fault. Excuse me so much. I was overthinking this. But yeah, my point still stands. Instead of creating a very interesting and very special character, they just stole. I mean, I know that the other indie developers, they know about this game and what they wanted to do and everything, but what they basically did is they stole the character. And I'm just gonna show you something. I'm just gonna, yeah, the fast forwarding is a bit off. I just could have just gone up here. Yeah, the game is a bit weird. They really didn't test this too much. I get really annoyed with this game. I get so annoyed with this game. I still think that they had no idea how to sell this game. So what? Yeah, they chose to steal different characters, use them in their games, in their game, and just slap their name on it, and just make the most generic game. This just makes me angry. And would you please load this level? Can't be that huge. My machine is not that bad. So yeah, this is the melee weapon, and I'm this close to repeating myself. Like, I like the idea. I like the idea between a character switching up abilities and everything. But was there? Didn't you have any other option than to? Okay, so yeah, this is what I hate. Commander Video walks by himself, walks all by himself, and I can't stop him. So I have to redo my former run because I was too fast. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're off for a few seconds with Commander Video, you're screwed. You just have to redo some whole sections. And this one is a short one. Like I had some stuff where I had to redo minutes and very difficult runs because I didn't know any better. I didn't know I would have to wait, and it's just basically trial and error. And I have to redo it again. Trial and error shouldn't be one of the basic mechanics of your game. This isn't I want to be that guy or those torture platformers. This is just a basic come on. This is just a very basic platformer, but with a very interesting idea. But it's just, I still think they could have just used their own character, given him different costumes, and switch that, and just make him switch it up. Okay, I don't know how I did that earlier. Okay, that's not how I did it. That's not, like, seriously, but just. I don't want to redo the. Oh yeah, and it glitches out again. Like look at the bottom. One of the creatures was walking in the wrong direction. Gonna have to redo that whole run. I'm just gonna repeat myself, and I keep on playing this game. I would love to love this game because I like the idea, but it's just so. It just doesn't have anything to it. Like it doesn't look it doesn't look like it's too special, and the controls are just a tad off, not too much, but enough that it just annoys me. And in general, it's not too good. It's not bad. It's just mediocre. I think that's the problem. It's mediocre and it wants to be something else, and they didn't know how to do it. So what they did is they just stole other game mechanics and just put them in their game. Maybe I'm being too cynic about this. So anyway, that was Team Indy by Brightside Games. You can get it now for I think it's €15. This game isn't worth €15 or your regional equivalent. Like maybe 5, 7 or 8, 10 at most. I'm just gonna look it up. I'm gonna post the price right here, and then maybe I screw up the price, but still. They had such a good idea and they just screwed it up. Anyway, so it's for me. Go out and go play some video games. If you want to play this game, if you found something in it that really interests you, okay, go for it. But I probably wouldn't recommend it. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry.